Well, it's Monday, and it must mean that we need to be talking about Napoleon Hill's The Law of Success. The the book of Law of Success was published in 1928. Excuse me. Obviously, almost 100 years ago, in his book that started out with 15 lessons, it went to 16 and then ultimately 17 as he changed and added one in 1938, 39 timeframe. It's not the laws of success, it's the law of success. And all these lessons are a compilation of what he had learned through his research with some big heavy hitters in the early 1900s in our country. The bottom line that I think would be appropriate to talk about in terms of Hill is that we start each day with gratitude, and that we need to let our enthusiasm for whatever project it is be visible to others. And hopefully, we'll be able to capture that enthusiasm and encourage others to be as encouraged as we are about whatever project it is we're on. So, talk about a couple of things about enthusiasm for you to consider. Again, going back to the overall thing is enthusiasm is incredibly uh, important to have, and we need to be grateful for it. As we start each day with gratitude, just being alive, being vertical, being able to think, to talk, to live, to love. That is an incredible thing to do. And so, just being grateful for that is a good start on enthusiasm. So, a couple of points. Point one is that enthusiasm is a mental state that can be cultivated. Hill teaches that enthusiasm is not something you either have or you don't have. It's a state of mind that you can deliberately create. You can deliberately create enthusiasm. How about that? It's generated by your focus, your purpose, and the emotion you attach to your goals. It's going from the neocortex thinking time to your limbic brain, the emotional part. Enthusiasm is all emotional. It's all emotional. And so when we focus our energy on our purpose, on the task at hand, we can get going. When you control your thoughts, you automatically influence your level of enthusiasm. So you're just thinking, yeah, we can do this. Let's get this done. And I'll just say tangentially here, for some reason, you're not being able to enthusiastically energize yourself. Maybe you're on the wrong bus. Maybe you're on this wrong seat in the right bus. You just need to figure out if you can't generate enthusiasm, if you can't get going, um, maybe look at where you are. You may be in a wrong place. Uh, as you probably know by listening to this, I am a why coach, and I like to liken the why operating system, the base, the foundation of your own individual genius. If you can't get going, we need to figure out why. And the reason why is probably you're not working in your genius. You're probably frustrated. You're probably misaligned. You're probably with the wrong people. You're probably on the wrong bus. You're certainly on the wrong seat. So we need to figure out how we can better equip you to move forward with enthusiasm. It's a one of the essential parts of the law of success. Number two, enthusiasm is contagious and influences others. Hill repeatedly emphasizes that enthusiasm is magnetic. Your tone, your expression, your energy, and your conviction cause others to feel what you feel as you are enthusiastic. This makes enthusiasm a crucial element of not just you and you're doing your stuff, but into leadership, to salesmanship, and to team building. Because people follow enthusiasm more than logic. They go from the neocortex to the limbic brain. They go from rational thought to energy and emotion. Yes, we do. The third point that we can talk about enthusiasm is that enthusiasm drives persistence and creative effort. Hill teaches that enthusiasm fuels your ability to keep going despite obstacles, and it stimulates imagination. A person with enthusiasm works harder, he thinks more creatively, and remains resilient to obstacles and barriers and setbacks. Enthusiasm acts as emotional combustion that powers your definite purpose. And as you recall, the second lesson of Hill's The Law of Success is having a definite chief aim or chief purpose. So we're going to talk about that in the fourth session. Number 4, enthusiasm must be backed by knowledge and purpose. Hill warns that enthusiasm without definite major purpose becomes more noise. True sustainable enthusiasm, he says, comes from a clear goal. You need to have a clear goal. You need to have a belief in what you're doing. And finally, understanding the value of what you're doing, of your mission, the value of it. If what you're doing doesn't have any value, you're just not going to be enthusiastic. But if you're in your right space, if you are in your purpose, if you are in your genius, you got to know that the value of your mission is right there. So again, it goes back to, are you on the right bus? Are you on the right seat in the bus? And if you are not on the right seat on the right bus, we probably need to talk. I'll be happy to talk with you about that. You can go to the website. My website is spreadyourgenius.com. And there's information there about how to contact me separately. When you're anchored to your purpose, enthusiasm becomes a strategic asset rather than a fleeting emotion. It is an emotion. Enthusiasm is incredibly important to accomplishing your goal. So with enthusiasm, you can do a lot of stuff. Without enthusiasm, it's going to be a boring life. If you're not enthused about your life every day, if you're not enthused about getting up in the morning and doing what you do naturally, if you're not enthused about getting to work, whatever your work is, then you need to be evaluating where you are, who you are, and why you're doing what you're doing. Not to be a sermonette, but life is way too short. This is not a dress rehearsal. It's really important for you to be engaged in your space, in your way of doing things, and that will be a large part of you getting the most out of life that you can deliver, being all you can be. Thanks for tuning in today. Again, that website is spreadyourgenius.com. Look forward to talking to you real soon. Hopefully we can partner and figure out how to get you going in the right direction. Or maybe just a fine tune of where you are. God bless you. We'll talk soon.